Alright, and after some minor delays, sorry about that, we have returned. Ascension eSports Dragon League, Free Baron versus Team Chemistry, and what we've seen, this is a best of 3, we've seen 2 stomps already, and both teams have already stomped each other. What's going to happen in Game 3, Brother Brando?
Will we get an even game? The world may never know. Are there ever even games in League of Legends? Does that even actually happen?
I don't know.
I was still kind of flabbergasted by that last game, honestly. Thanks all around.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect it. I really thought Team Chemistry looked like they had no coordination. Things weren't going to work out. But to be honest, it also kind of looked like a lot of what they had really hinged on the Caitlyn pick.
Yeah. They are a red side this time, so they will not have the option to first pick it. Will they ban it away, or hope that it is not picked in the first rotation by Free Baron?
I'm gonna see soon enough. First man going out in Aatrox. Why not?
I honestly don't think you give away the Caitlyn. I think you just ban it away. Or do they even have bans? I forget which side has. I think it's Chemistry that has the bans.
Yeah, Chemistry has bans. Free Baron does not. That being said, they do have first pick.
Fully expect, if Caitlyn is not banned, to be first picked. Because of how contested it's been so far this series.
There we go. Is the Caitlyn ban. It's a smart move to come out of Team Chemistry. It's almost 100% chance that was going to be picked up by Free Baron on their first pick.
Yep. That said, what's it gonna be?
That also said, really, like, despite that comp, they did well because of the Caitlyn, but I feel like they still would have lost if Nyoto actually picked something.
Yeah.
Anything.
Anything with a presence. And that can have a presence.
Yeah, that is absolute presence, and that's also something that Purring did really good with on the previous game. He dominated the early game, getting like 4 kills pretty early on into the game. Wasn't able to completely snowball it, but by then Rackham took over, took the driver's seat, and took control of the game, drove it straight into the Nexus, and got the W for Team Chemistry. So not having that for Purring, and not having the Caitlyn for Rackham, gotta wonder how it's gonna play out now.
The Tristana picked up, she can be a very strong AD carry, but I still disagree with the build. I don't think the Blade of the Ruin King last game was optimal at all. I think it delayed the build, and unfortunately it just didn't work out.
So now we are working our way through the picks and bans. The Graves picked up this time, and
interesting.
The way Purring played, I would see some hope in his Graves pick, but this is one I'm interested in right here. Seal Dad.
Oh yeah,
taking that Thresh that he was so dominant with in the first game.
Yeah, he looked very strong on the Thresh in the first game, and good to see him back on that instead of something kind of ability. Whereas he didn't do badly on the Lulu, he still had his signature vision places, and the Alawi is picked up again.
Oh man, this is looking like Free Baron's game the more they go into this draft phase. Color C picking up the Kennen, most likely the top 80 Kennen once again. Getting into the second round of bans, we're going to see what Team Chemistry is going to focus on.
I think the Kennen Alawi matchup kind of falls into the same thing as the Kennen Darius matchup. I think as long as The Alawi's not given free reign. I think it can work, but he just has to play it correctly like he did in the last game.
It's also to be noted that the all-in for McKinnon is not as successful against an Alawi as it would be against the Darius. And the reason for that is all the healing an Alawi can get using the Leap of Faith followed by every single button she has.
Just spam every button, the Xin Zhao strategy.
The ball is angry.
So the Orianna.
I think the Twitch ban. Yeah, I think the Twitch ban was fairly intelligent. Denies that AD carry from Pocket Cookies. We'll have to see what is the replacement.
Yeah, we're gonna see what works with him. Once again, 0 bans on the side of Free Baron. Team Chemistry looking to pick up their first win of the season. If they could pull off another game like they did last time, they can achieve that win.
I'm mostly worried about the Graves pick for them. I really feel like Graves struggles in this meta right now, and is that actually going to be locked in? There's no way that's locked in. They already have an AD carry.
If it is, it's a placeholder.
Yeah.
It's got to be a placeholder. Come on.
It could be a Tristana mid. You don't know. You don't pay my subscription.
Oh, goodness.
You don't tell me what to do.
And these picks coming out from Free Baron look so nice, and everything's synergizing for them.
Yeah, they have so much pick, like disgusting amount of pick. Only thing that's kind of weird is the Alawi. It doesn't really have, I mean, it doesn't really offer pick, but it does offer a team fighting presence, which you hopefully will have.
But I mean, it's Alawi, and you know, anything with tentacles is pretty weird.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Japan.
So the last pick
Now we
is put
probably
in.
gonna see a remake lobby, unless that's actually
Hello? Okay.
okay. See what that vein was. Now, why can't everybody just own all the champions?
And the vein was Janna.
Boring.
Especially against a Thresh.
That's the most boring character to watch ever.
So
I honestly wasn't too impressed with it last game.
yeah, it didn't really do too much. It wasn't even that defensive of the Caitlyn pick of Reckham. It was more just...
Now I'm
Here's my
Reckham's
shield,
really
shoot
strong.
somebody.
Yeah. So the bans will speed out now.
I shall indeed.
We are going to get straight into the picks. And the composition of Free Baron, I already said it earlier, I really like the composition.
I want
It is so pick heavy. And you're messing with me, right?
Probably.
Okay. It is so big heavy. You have the Twisted Fate, you have the Ashe, you have the Lee Sin. You have a lot of kills in the early to mid game if you can utilize those champions correctly.
That's the question. Can they do it? Because last game I was unimpressed.
Alright, so these picks are going out. And there was an Ari picked up?
Yeah, that was the last pick.
Oh,
for,
okay.
Something that that's really screaming to me is the composition of Team Chemistry is disgustingly squishy.
Your emperor shall return.
Yeah, that's a lot of squish and considering the pick potential that Free Baron has, they can annihilate anyone they get their hands on quite quickly.
Yep.
Overall, I'm pretty stoked about this Thresh pick, and I'm just dying to see Seal Dad pull it off again. I want to see if it was a fluke or not, if he can still land a lot of those hooks he got in the game 1.
Can he flay Tristana mid-rocket jump? That is the question of a good Thresh. If you can start stopping people's jump animations, that's when you know you've started to learn the champion correctly. Nothing feels better than flaying away a Zac in a mid-slingshot.
Plenty of things feel better. Flaying away St. Vicious's Jarvan mid-flag and drag. Flying away anything dashing towards you.
Yeah, it feels really good, and you feel pretty cool when you pull it off. Like,
Play
nope,
away a
you ain't
Leona's
going
Zenith
nowhere. Yep. I miss Leona. Maybe she'll come back into relevancy one day.
One day.
One day. The sun comes out.
That's for today. We are going to get into this final
Not
game.
today.
Free Baron 1. Team Chemistry 1. Best of 3 series. Game point is here. Whoever wins this wins it all. And we're going to find out soon enough once we get past this spectator delay. Based on team composition, who do you see winning, Brother Brando?
It's not really a question. Just looking at the specific comps, like Free Barons has a goal. There's cohesion there, and it all works together. Whereas on the other side, you just have a bunch of random champions, which this worked out last time for them. Just a bunch of random picks that kind of say, "Hey, this is what I'm comfortable with," and that can work. But will it work well enough? So yeah, I gotta go Free Baron.
And I pretty much echo your thoughts completely. I got to go with Free Baron. I don't like the composition drafted by Team Chemistry. It worked out last time. They did have the Caitlyn pick. That being said, that's off the board now. And we do have Nyoto on something much more potent than an AFK Nidalee. So for those of you just joining us, this is Ascension eSports Dragon League. This is an LCS-style tournament with a regular season and playoffs for players in bronze through silver. If you're interested in joining, we have divisions for all elos, including Elder for gold through platinum, as well as Phoenix, which is an open league, as well as an in-house rank ladder. So please check out our subreddit, check out our Discord, check the links below, and we hope to see you here soon. And we also hope to get into this game soon. 1 minute left on the spectator delay. We shall be getting in. This is a big game for Team Chemistry, so they really need to pull this out if they want to start positioning for playoffs, as they are 0-3 right now. Meanwhile, Free Baron landing at 2-1, having a good season overall. Second place, looking to maintain that second place spot. We're going to see how they do in just a moment.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see if they can continue and hopefully keep it on. Road to 3-1, definitely positioned themselves as the top end of the ladder.
And I mean, they are at a point where they're pretty comfortable, but they're not yet secure. So if they can manage just a couple of wins, they'll at least be in that top 6 area where they can have that safety. That being said, that still is a far ways away, 5 weeks away before we get into the playoffs running.
Yeah, if anything, that last game should definitely be an eye-opener for them. They should definitely take note that they're not invincible. So there were some serious issues, and I don't know if it was hubris or just their builds, their picks. It was questionable. We'll have to see if they clean that up in this one.
Well, I mean, you say builds and picks. We do have things to point out. It's Nyoto, Nidalee, as well as the awkward Blade of the Rune King to come out from the Tristana.
Yep.
So we are...
I just don't get...
Go ahead.
Don't get it, man. I just don't get it, man. If you're not you're building an item that does percent HP damage against a team that doesn't stack HP. What's the point?
The point is, it's purple and it looks
I don't
cool.
know. Yeah.
So yeah, we are getting into the load screen now. We will be in game in just a moment. Gonna take a look at the keystones. Nothing out of the ordinary. Once again, we do have a very aggressive Lee Sin. I do notice that there have been some Lee Sins that go for the more tanky route. I've even seen a Courage the Colossus Lee Sin, which is a little bit crazy to me. But overall, if you want to abuse the early game, having the Thunderlord's Lee Sin is the perfect way to do it, and it really does synergize with that champion.
It just has so many ways to proc it, and it's just, I think, the optimal choice for Lee Sin.
One thing I gotta point out, though, that is a Storm Raider Surge Graves.
I think that's a common thing for him. I could be wrong.
I've seen a lot also go with the Thunderlords just because they want to abuse the early game burst damage that a Graves can output.
Yeah, they'll often throw their Q, maybe an auto and collateral damage, and boom, that's instant Thunderlord's proc.
Instant death as well.
Usually, yeah.
But on that note, we are at game point. Free Barrett versus Team Chemistry. Will Team Chemistry take their first win of the season, or will Free Barrett still sit freely at that second place spot? We're going to find out right now as we step into the Rift and get into the game. And we already have a lot of the same movements we've seen in the previous games in terms of positioning. Purring going straight towards that area to watch for any possible invades. And surprisingly enough, Sealdad just doesn't like going for, you know, the fun early game shenanigans that you usually see out of Threshes.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, you don't see it as often on a Thresh as you would like a Blitzcrank, because Thresh's pull is obviously not quite as lengthy. Nothing against Thresh and his length, but, you know, it is what it is.
Uh-huh. Interesting talk about lengths, Brother Brando.
It's game 3. Like, almost 10 o'clock. Forgive me.
On that note, excuse me if I'm wrong, but don't Thresh and Blitzcrank have the same range on their hooks?
I think that's possible, just Thresh doesn't drag as far, because, you know, that's how his Q works.
I'm pretty sure it's just that the death sentence is not shorter, but takes longer to get to its target, whereas the rocket grab is just right after.
Like, Blitzcrank can pull you over terrain, whereas Thresh can't.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. So yeah, we are seeing the blue buff start coming out of Mioto, and that's pretty interesting to me. It makes me wonder what path he's going to take and where exactly he wants to end up at on this map.
Yeah, curious at the very least.
Because it's almost... It's pretty much become the most meta thing in Dragon League to do that bot side start and look to go straight to the top lane, because, you know, that's where the enemy jungler is going to be. That's where usually the action is when you want to take advantage of early game overextensions. But in this case, it does look like it's going to be Tobin who's looking to do the overextension. But also the bot lane overextending as well. We do see the death sentence land as well as the Flay. Yvette taking a lot of damage, but that rocket in the pocket of Rackham doing a lot of damage to Pocket Cookies. And overall, that's a huge advantage on the side of Team Chemistry.
That's a significant amount of damage there coming out from that Tristana.
And there we go. The gold card lands. Color C having to flash away to survive.
That's significant. Not having that flash early game is always very terrifying if you are a solo laner.
That being said, Color C does have to exist, does have to survive. I don't know what I'm saying exist up until the point of level 6. The stress is gone a little bit, but there's the ignite onto Reckham, forces both summoners out of the ADC.
I think he was expecting the Tristana to rocket jump, but I don't even know if Tristana has. Yeah, Tristana doesn't even have rocket jump, so I guess he just wasn't expecting flash there.
Yeah, and Seal's already looking pretty good on this Thresh. Pretty good.
Nice meme.
Nice man. Meanwhile, another thing to point out is Tobin's already starting to gather a CS lead early into this matchup. But he is taking a lot of poke and accomplishing that.
At least Corbin's trading something back for it.
Uh-oh. And the Shuriken does miss. Tobin turns around, gets a nice Q onto Corpin. Enough to heal him up to deter the advancement.
Fortunate that Corpin's Q went wide there.
So we do notice Nyoto is setting up to possibly do something on the Corpin. Sonic Wave lands, getting a lot of damage on the Corpin, forces the flash out of Corpin. And we're seeing a lot of flashes being burned out of Nyoto. He's looking much more impressive on the Lee Sin than he did on the Nidalee, to put it lightly.
Well, yeah, he's at least ganking now.
And there we go again. Gold card lands and Color C goes down just as we talk about Nyoto. Yeah, he definitely is ganking. Burnt 2 flashes and got a first blood onto Color C.
But that's textbook Lee Sin right there. You get any lane with a CC, it just makes it so easy to land that Sonic Wave. And especially with the flash already being down on Color C, it just allows for free ganks.
Go. There goes a hook. It's a great hook to come out of Seal, Dad. It's not going to be enough to take out Reckham, but it was a pretty scary moment for him.
That's exactly what I was talking about there in Champ Select, and that's what you want to do.
Wasn't the play, though. Surprisingly enough, it was the hook.
Yeah, if you can't get him mid-animation, at least catching him on the very end, predicting where the rocket jump would go, that's the next best thing.
Yeah, so now Free Baron. Seem like they're controlling the tempo. And it seems like what we thought was going to happen in the second game and what did happen in the first game.
It's already looking like a much better game for Free Baron there.
Yeah, team chemistry, you have to be careful because we've seen what happens when Free Baron gets that tempo lead and gets control of the map. Bar getting punished a bit, but here comes Nyoto looking to get on the Color C. Color C does have the Spirit Rush available. I believe that's enough mana, but not using it. Playing that out very patiently.
And that not panic flashing or not panicking is an underrated ability for a lot of players. As soon as they see something coming, they'll just immediately react, and that's not always the best scenario.
But holding it off for too long, like shark bait ooh-ha-ha, can have some consequences.
Rest in peace.
And there we go. Death Sentence used does not land, but yeah. Such thing as holding on to it just enough and holding on to it too much.
Like I always say, the threat of ability is sometimes greater than actually using it.
Yeah, so far in this early game, we're only at a 1k gold lead. Still anyone's game, but looking more and more like Free Baron's game as they have control over 2 lanes.
Oh,
the only lane that's being aggressive is down a hill. It's died once, pretty much.
Little tip for anybody playing against the Lowy. All you have to do to avoid the tentacles that spawn is keep walking in a straight line away from it. It will never hit you as long as you're moving. Don't just stand there. It will hit you.
So now we might see a roam come out. 4-man dive bot lane, possibly.
Could happen.
Bashful Bard does have the Destiny Gate, but Purring's right there. He does spot out Nyoto. Nyoto getting hit up quite a bit. This could be disaster for Free Baron. But Nyoto wants to turn it around. There goes the Dragon's Rage, but there's not enough health lost. And now caught out is Purring. Purring stunned for so long. The Max Rage, a fail flash results in his demise.
Yeah, the important thing there was Color C had no mana for that engage, and unfortunately, Purring just didn't have enough damage by himself to do anything.
Oh my god, Corbin.
You see, you just move. You don't have to get hit by that.
Corbin. Yeah, another thing, by the way, was Pocket Cookie. American Sniper from all the way down the river. And when you land that Ash Arrow from max range, that's like 3 seconds of God, please help me.
Pretty much, yeah. Hey, it's unfortunate that that came out and happened. But another Cloud Drake. A lot of Cloud Drakes today.
Once again, Tobin. Corbin, please. Please.
Dollar says he gets hit. Yep. Yes!
Oh my goodness.
I almost feel bad, but I knew it would happen.
And here we go again. Sonic Wave lands on Nyoto as well as a flash forward with the gold card. Is that going to be the end of Color C? Able to survive. Spirit rushes away. Still has flash up. Not in complete danger, but what a close call for Color C.
Yeah, having a rough time in this lane with the constant pressure coming in from the Lee Sin and the Twisted Fate. It's been a rough time, but he's hanging in there in CS. Not the end of the world.
So now Destiny Gate is up, and look at where Bashful Bard is positioning. He's actually choosing to walk it, and there is the Enchanted Crystal Arrow landing clutch onto Yvette, but the gold card not landing as well. And over the wall, what a hook to come out of Dad gets the wall up as well. Yvette's gonna go down. There's no way in hell she survives. A kill picked up by Pocket Cookies. And a pretty good play with a very awkward setup.
Yeah, kind of awkward there with the Destiny. Unfortunately, not able to get the gold card. It did force him to walk in a specific way. That there was one way out, and that did allow Seal to pick it up.
That just happened.
Yeah, it did just happen. Not even a smite, I don't think. I think it was just Q.
So yeah, so far, oh, is this going to be first tower? We see Corbin trying to stop Tobin. Tobin might have stepped too far, choosing to try and fight this out and get the health back. Forces the flash out of Corbin. Pretty good move, and here comes the camp. Once again, Nyoto going after Color C. Spirit Rush isn't up, but Flash is, but the Flash not exactly opportune. Color C has the Spirit Rush in just a second, but it's a second too late as he drops to Bashful Bard.
Fortunate there for Color C. I almost said Killer Z again. But their names are so similar. Oh man.
Have you seen them in
I
the
think
same
it's because
place
we've
at the same
casted.
time?
I think it's because we've casted Killer Z so much that it's just kind of a natural thing.
Yeah. And here we go, Purring. For some reason, way to take a interesting route to the tower. Does survive, but I don't think it needed to be that scary.
Yeah.
So I want to know your thoughts on Color C taking teleport in the game.
He does it every game almost.
Specifically on Ahri, though.
It can work if your name's Bjergsen and you constantly go to other lanes and apply pressure there. But if you're not doing that and you're just using it to get back to lane, then there's a problem.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things. You see a lot of these people, they take the teleport, especially in the lower elos, and they use it to get back to lane. And you're wasting one of the best tools at setting up kills for your team, at being able to respond to jungle ganks for your team. It shouldn't be just a get back to farm type summoner spell. And as Dezdan said, this is exactly what he's using it for right now.
That said, the Tristana is going the correct build. For that, I am happy.
Which means there still might be a lot of team chemistry if they can get to the break beat.
Tristana scales really strongly, and he's very strong in the late game.
So far, 4-0 in favor of Infernal. They do have one tower, the gold lead up to 4K already, and that's really significant in this early game where we have another catch-out. Color Seed gonna get caught out. Dragon's Rage not used, not needed, because down goes Color Seed, bursted so quickly, and Yoto is just playing around this mid lane so gracefully.
I think I heard Dragon's Rage go off, but the spell just didn't.
She died before it could go off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard like the start of the animation.
You heard the hit, but no coup.
Yeah.
And so on that note, 6K, 14 minutes. I mean, we talked about what 3K actually is, but 6K, yeah, it's getting...
Yeah, that's 2 items. Yeah, that is 2 items worth of gold. And I don't even think Ash has been back to buy in a while.
Yeah, possibly going for that Blade of the Rune King Black Cleaver type Ash, maybe? I'm not sure if that's still meta.
I think it can be. I don't even agree with it here. Like, I don't know, man.
Bucket Cookies
Hey,
does some interesting builds.
I'm not a hip 80 carry, man.
You're not a Phoenix 96?
Nah, not Phoenix 96. I'm not Legend 27.
So now we do see the Dragon started up. It's gonna be another Cloud Drake.
Oh man.
And
We're gonna get another Flame Horizon.
Flush Death Sentence goes off as well as a gold card. And that was what we talked about in Champions Select, the pick potential supplied by this competition drafted by Free Baron.
Blowing flashes left and right. Oh man. This is what we said. Like, they have the comp. They didn't last time, and there you go.
So now another turret under siege. It feels like Free Baron are just rotating from objective to objective.
Which is exactly what they should do. That's how League of Legends is supposed to be played.
That being said, there is a lot of engagement tools down on the side of Free Baron. So a bit of a window, but that's not how you close it. Color C drops the Pocket Cookie.
And I don't think Ash has went back to buy. I'm pretty sure he has a significant amount of gold just sitting there waiting to be spent.
He's got 3.1k in his pocket right now.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
Yeah, so
that's Blade the Ruin King and boots, possibly the start of a Zeal item.
If he goes for that build.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see the Black Cleaver build because it's been a while.
Oh, that was disgusting.
No kidding. Is that another turret that's going to fall for Tobin? 4-0 towers. 2-0 dragons. 7-0 kills. We're on track for a perfect game at this rate. Almost 10k deficit. Free Baron.
The perfect game was ruined in game one whenever Tobin actually got assists.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I guess the real question: are we gonna see another Flame Horizon?
We're on track for it. I got an even better question: are we gonna see another 003 Alawi?
Possibly.
Yeah, so far the objective game so heavily in favor of Free Baron. They're controlling this map, and they're going for the Rift Herald now. As we said, objective to objective with these guys. They're playing like they have the synergy, like they have the coordination, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yep.
Not often you see a 5-man Rift Herald.
No. Usually reserved for Baron and or Dragons. Mostly because you can solo Rift Herald, but you know, power in numbers.
And I mean, you thought Tobin was scary when he was alone in lane. Waiting to see his
Imagine when
buddy.
he actually fights. Like, when he actually team fights instead of just shoving lanes.
Yeah, I mean, in the first game, game 1, the only time we saw the Leap of Faith used was when Tobin was at the Nexus already. That is disgusting.
Oh.
That being said, though, Dezdan is pretty good at being able to wave clear and try and stall out this game and let that gold lead mean less and less. One of the things to note is 3k gold at 7 minutes is a lot. 3k gold at 30 minutes is really insignificant. So that's, you know, it diminishes as you get later and later into the game, and that's what Team Chemistry need to do to this game if they really want to survive it. Ash Arrow goes out but hits nothing.
That arrow went all the way to Santa Monica.
The important thing to note, though, is Pocket Cookies tried.
Yeah, an effort was made. At least the arrow was fired.
Yeah. And there we go. There's a death sentence, and it's going to annihilate Purring as he drops in a really fast way.
That man had a family, and kind of just being what I said about the Graves pick, it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Doesn't offer anything.
I think at this point you just give up the tower. The potential of being caught out just like this is far too much, but they're able to stop the advancement for now. We do see that Rackham is trying to get as much done as possible. And a flash coming out from Bashful Bard. Another hook lands, but Nyoto a little bit too far forward. Are they going to give it the perfect game? No, able to get out of there in time. And what is this? Tobin on the backside. Looking to do a little surprise tentacle expletives.
I thought there's a movie somewhere out there about that kind of stuff. Or a series of movies, rather.
Who knows, Brother Brando? Who knows? And there we go again. Another catch out. Pocket Cookies takes that kill. Seal Dead is on fire with these death sentences.
Engage after engage, just not respecting the hook.
So the attempt at a perfect game continues, and there's a great enchanted crystal arrow! What in the world is this team?
At this point, they're just inting.
And here comes the Rift Herald. With 2 down, it's going to be very hard to defend this inhibitor. A huge chunk out, trying to defend it, trying to get the shields on it, but it's not going to be much. They are able to stop the Rift Herald for now, but not after severe damage was done.
Got it to about a third of its health, and that's, I mean, it's something. At least they were able to use it in a way that it actually was positive.
Tobin might be looking to do the leap of faith here. Either that, or he might be looking to be the first death. And a great flash to come out of Tobin. Waited for the rocket jump before he flashed. Smart move.
You definitely don't want to get punted back into your team.
I really want this perfect game to happen.
I don't know, man. It's about 11k gold lead. It's possible.
I mean, Reckham can get pretty big, but he's yet to get his Infinity Edge. Does have a Zill item completed as well as 1 Zill in the pocket. So now, once again, Tobin going after this tower. Tobin, here comes a huge engage. Here comes the leap of faith. No, unable to use it. There's the leap of faith being used. He's going after Purring. Is he going to be able to pick him off? No, that's going to be the end of Tobin and the end of the near perfect game.
It was very awkward to watch. Yeah. Didn't land anything.
I guess it's better he's not in this fight.
Yeah, probably.
Mioto trying to pick up. What a great kill onto the Ari. Color C drops, but a shutdown on the side. Mioto dropping. Are they going to be able to get anything else? No. That is a 1-for-1 exchange minus Tobin, who died earlier. Pretty good defense, but
And
that
they get
tower
this tower.
still in dire straits.
Where's Ziggs at? Dispatch it.
And there is the enchanted crystal arrow. Will Rackham get out in time? No, he drops. Death sentence goes out, almost drops Jana, but it's not going to be enough. The inhibitor is under fire. What a great use of the wild cards.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's actually honestly one of the easiest abilities to dodge in the game.
Yeah.
Very slow moving projectile.
And there we go with the death sentence. Sealed that one to throw him out for days. Looking for picks all over this map. And we do see a Runins picked up by Pocket Cookies. Really interested to see what he builds next. It might actually be that Black Cleaver.
It's possible.
That being said, even though Team Chemistry are on the backside of this, at least it's not a
6
perfect
more
game.
minions. 6 more minions.
Oh, are we already at that point?
6 more minions that we got the Flame Horizon.
Right, and he's got that wave right there. 25 minutes into the game. 1 more Q should do it. 2 more Qs.
Oh, one more.
One more. Here it comes. Oh, not yet, not yet, not yet.
He's just gonna make us wait for it.
How many minions does Tristana count as? And we see a flash forward coming out of Bard. He's looking to get onto the Ari, but Yvette is now caught out. Tobin looking to pick up this kill, trying to go after Yvette. There's the slicing maelstrom being used, getting a lot of disruption in, but they're still not afraid to go in on this. They're still not afraid to fight it. Leap of faith is used, but it's not really good. He drops to Color C, and now Pocket Cookie is able to get 1 kill. Does he see 2 going after Corbin? He's gonna get a 2nd kill. He wants to pick up Color C next. Color C dropping so low, and there's a triple kill picked up by Pocket Cookies.
And that's game.
And goodness gracious, this Free Baron team looks like contenders in this season of Dragon League. 26 minutes into this game, we have the Nexus falling, and what a game to come out of this team. 2-1, Free Baron take it home and sit happily at 2nd place.
A fairly clean game overall for them. Sure, they're pretty happy about that one. Definitely improved for the 2nd game.
Absolutely improved. They put on a great display. It felt like, you know, the first game we saw them just do this haphazard comp of comfort. The 2nd game, they got a little bit too comfortable, and in the 3rd game, they put on their serious face. They drafted an extremely viable comp, and they just rolled. You know, they just rolled Team Chemistry up, folded them, threw them away into the trash, sent them to Craigslist. It was pretty bad.
Dang, all the way to Craigslist. This TF was honestly, I give it either to TF or the Lee Sin on this one. The Ashe, while had it solid arrows overall, I just think the TF had a little bit of influence on everywhere.
So yeah, if we take a look at the damage charts right now, we do see that Bashful Bard leading in damage by a lot as well. He was great at following up the engages done by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, by the Death Sentence, and by Neodo constantly camping his lane. It was overall a pleasure to see what this Free Baron team can pull out when they actually set their minds together.
Yep, so many gold cards, so many losses for Chemistry, unfortunately. But that said, there's always next time. Hopefully they can come back next week and try to take a game.
Yeah, and on that note, we do end that game at a 2-1 in favor of Free Baron. We do have Hupalicious with us to update us on the match between the Abusement Park and the Metamorphic House Hobbits. How did that game go, Hup?
Correct.
It actually, despite the first game having to be forfeited by Metamorphic Hobbits, game 2, they came back ferocious, just absolutely dominated the abused the amusement park, rather. Unfortunately, there was a power issue on my end, so I got removed from game 3, so I don't know how it turned out.
I think Suru said that Phoenix's team lost, so that means Amusement Park lost. Fairly
the amusement
comfortable,
park
confident.
did lose according to our standings. Metamorphic House Hobbits taking that game, their standings now at 1-3. That was their first win of the season. Team Chemistry, that puts them in dead last at 0-4. Meanwhile, still in first place is Guardian Angels, and following them is the second place team that we just witnessed, and that was Free Baron, along with a couple of other teams, including Super Saiyan 4 and Fifth Harmony. So it's going to be interesting to see next week how those standings start shaking up, as a lot of these teams who are doing so well and have these high standings start going against each other. The real question is, who can take out Guardian Angels and give them their first defeat? That's all questions to be answered in the upcoming weeks of Dragon League. But for myself, Southern Decadence Dezdan, as well as Hupalicious, this will put an end to our broadcast. Thank you guys for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.